when people say that you cannot know who the 12 tribes of Israel are today, you can. And the reason that we have to know is because God said they have to keep the Sabbath. We're teaching the sister right now, who's about to come right back.
Right.
We're teaching her that you have to keep the Sabbath as a child of Israel. You have to know that you're that first. How are you going to find that out? You got to read in the Bible. That's why we're going through Deuteronomy. That's why we go through Exodus, so y'all can understand who you are according to the Bible. Because you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why we out here teaching. We wouldn't come out here and teach if that wasn't the case. We believe this thing. Image that you see in the church is wrong. So when you see people reading these Bibles and we're up here teaching our people, we're for our people. Because we're teaching the Jews how to come back to being Jews, sis. That's what y'all are doing. Y'all know, right? I got you now, huh? So now, with that being said, we showed you the Jews are black. Now, we're the ones that God gave the commandments to. Like when everybody talks about the commandments, you don't have to keep them no more in the church. Oh, God only wants you to do this. God gave us those commandments. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28. I'll show you something. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. Watch this, sis. I want to show you. Deuteronomy 28, verse 15. You got it? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So now, God was telling the children of Israel, which we already talked about, which is the Jews, that they were what? Black. But now he's saying curses would happen unto them if they didn't keep God's commandments. Now let me show you one of those curses. Because the brother earlier said we're in an area where you see human poop on the side of the street. You see trash. You see all type of stuff over here. Let's see something. Read verse 16. Read this.
Verse 16.
Watch this.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Read again.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Sis, when you look at black people, are they blessed or are they cursed in the city? Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's have the hard conversation. Are we cursed in the city? We are, right? This talking about us. Literally cursed in the city. You look in the hoods and the ghettos, we're there. That's cursed. Now watch this. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now when you go back in history, what's up, sis? Yeah, they sing in the church, blessed shall I be in the city, like blessed I'm in the city, blessed in the field. The problem is, all those people had to go back either to the hood or to a place that they ain't making that much money.
Right.
They're getting beat down, they have bad jobs, but you're talking about blessed. What are we blessed? We're not, we've been cursed. God has put us here for a punishment. He didn't put us here for us to make it. He put us here for a punishment, for us to follow his commandments, to train us to keep his commandments. So when we see this right here, it shows us clearly we're cursed in the city and, read it again.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So now we look at the field, sis. Remember, let's talk about, let's go back in time a little bit. Slavery. Who was in the fields? Yeah, we were. And guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, today you see Hispanics in the fields, right? They was in the fields back in the day, too, in slavery. But they always show the black face because the Hispanics is dark. So it's happening to Hispanics and blacks in the fields back then, and they have Hispanics and blacks in the fields still today.
That's right.
Cursed shall that be in the field. As in, we going to work long hours, and we ain't going to get nothing. Today, they still don't get paid, what is it, minimum wage? They don't get paid minimum wage to work in the field. And it's our people, right? So this is the whole thing we're trying to show you. This Bible's for our people. We get nervous, like, for instance, Jan, you heard us teaching out here, and you see a Bible. And typically, like I asked you, churches, they show you that everybody's Caucasian. So we don't connect to these scriptures. We're trying to bring that connection back. That's the whole purpose of this. So that we understand who we are, so we can start getting back to where we're supposed to be. And that's with the Lord. That's what we're trying to show you. Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Verse 35. Watch this. Now watch this. Now you might say, it wasn't going to happen that we got cursed. Because a lot of people say, well, we're not really cursed. Slavery wasn't that long ago. Jim Crow definitely wasn't that long ago. Heck, some places still got Jim Crow. It's talking about Jim Crow's gone. Come on, man. So when you're overtaken by a curse, it happens to you consistently. So when you said, well, there's a lot of reasons, there is a lot of reasons, but they all come back to this right here. We didn't want to keep God's commandments. He said, I'm going to punish you for not keeping my commandments. Let me ask you a question. Do you know some commandments? What commandments do you know? Let me know. You come closer. You got the camera on me. You can come closer. I can't hear you from over there.
I used to know them all, but I don't
Used to? What you got now?
Adultery.
Okay. Steal, kill, adultery.
I can't remember. I know them. Go ahead.
Okay. So we went through steal, kill, and adultery, right?
So we need a new camera.
Go to Exodus 20 and verse 8. Yes. Because you mentioned the ones that, you know what? Every Christian will mention kill, steal, adultery, but they miss the fourth commandment.
Don't do that.
Watch this. It's not, hey, I'm saying most, but we don't talk.
Mama, you put me on the spot
Got you.
like that.
I got you. It happens, but we're working with you because, look, sis, we're doing this because we love you. That's the reason why we're out here. That's why we're out here. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8.
Watch this.
Remember the Sabbath day
Uh-oh.
to keep it holy.
Now, if I was to ask you, I know the church didn't teach us. I know the church didn't teach us. I'll say, how do you keep the Sabbath day? What would you tell me? Nobody's out here. It's only us.
I feel like I'm in Bible study.
Hey, we are in Bible study. This is right now. But we're out here trying to teach you to show you how to do it. Okay, we got to sit you in the front, sis. We got to get you sitting in the front. But she don't want to get called. But listen, the reason I asked that question is like you said, churches don't teach us nothing. We go into church and what they say? Oh, they dance, they scream, they say, we're blessed, and then you go home. That's all. You want to feel good and go home.
They give offerings.
And give offerings, right? Give money. But they don't teach you the basics that are in the Bible. Even the Ten Commandments, they don't even tell you what these mean. So now I'm going to show you something. I'll show you one way to keep it holy. Read on.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So 6 days. Now, if you look at a calendar, the first day of the week is actually not Monday. It's what? Sunday. So 6 days starting from Sunday. You have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's 6 days, right? It says 6 days.
But the seventh day,
No, read it again.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So it says 6 days shalt thou labor and do all that work. So all those 6 days, you're able to do work. Like for instance, God, you can be open on those 6 days. You can have your own little side hustle on those 6 days. But now watch this. Read.
But the seventh day,
But what?
but the seventh day,
But the seventh day, which is Saturday, read.
is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So it says, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. So now it's saying, but, that means there's a difference between those 6 days and this one day. It is separate. That's why I said to keep it holy. Holy means separate. You're supposed to keep the Sabbath separate from your other days. You're not supposed to do the same things on the Sabbath that you would do on your other days, such as work. That's one of the things. Read.
In it thou shalt not do any work.
Now my brother, what's your name, my brother? Tony, Yana. Now, Tony, we're talking about the Sabbath day with Yana right now. So now, Tony, before you go, we over here talking with you. We're trying to show her how to keep the Sabbath day holy. Because when you go to church, they always talk about 10 Commandments, right? Watch, I'm going to show you. Okay, so you've heard it. But nobody ever talks about the Sabbath, so we're talking about that right now. Read.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work.
What's this?
Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant,
No what?
nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
So ain't nobody supposed to work on the Sabbath. Go ahead, sis. You want to say something? Come on.
So, I was brought up Baptist. So
I did too.
So it's a little bit different. I feel like some people were taught that. Some people were. Depending on what denomination that you are, they do put a little emphasis on that. But me being Baptist, they didn't do that. So my day was to not do anything and be holy was on Sunday,
Yeah.
not on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it kind of depends on what denomination you
Yeah.
kind of brought into.
My brother, we're talking about Sabbath.
You got a good point.
You got a good point? What you got?
You got to live it.
Hold on. Right here, bro. What's
No,
up?
you good.
What's up?
Christ told
Okay.
to not do whatever you want, but to work on the Sabbath if you have to.
So, where were you before? Where'd you go to church?
I grew up Pentecostal.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today. Shalom.
Oh, now, sis, what you said they didn't teach you nothing about the Sabbath, right? And the Baptist. He's Pentecostal. Pentecostal says you can do whatever you want to on the Sabbath. I know you said, I want you to come back. There's liberty in Christ Jesus. That you can what?
I'm the Lord of the Sabbath.
He's the Lord of the Sabbath?
In Christ, there's freedom in Christ. Some people don't eat certain foods.
Okay, so he said, so you see this, it's not just the Baptist that said that.
That's why I said it depends on what denomination.
So you're 100% correct, but he was taught that. So that's not just talking about Baptists. It's also talking about Pentecostals. Every single last denomination that we went to don't teach you how to keep the Sabbath. And under Christ, he never said, don't keep the Sabbath. He never said that. Watch this, Exodus 31. You know what it is? Exodus 31:16. Exodus 31:16. I'm gonna show you something about the Sabbath. Brother, it's over there. Exodus 31 verse 16. And I'm gonna tell you what Christ meant in a minute about he's the Lord of the Sabbath. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 31 and verse 16. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath.
So now remember, you said I wasn't taught the Sabbath. It's saying we're supposed to keep it. Right? Now watch this. Read.
To observe the Sabbath throughout their generations.
So if you still have children, you're still generating. So does that mean now I stop keeping the Sabbath? No, we still keep the Sabbath, correct?
Right.
Now, I want to tell you something. The children of Israel. See that sign all the way over there? The children of Israel are those people. You have Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Ephraim, Manasseh. You go all the way down to Issachar. You have all those tribes right there, Naphtali. All these people are people today. You know, they say, oh, they read the Bible and nobody knows what the children of Israel are? You have to. Give me Revelation 7. I'm going to show you why you have to. And then we're going to get right back to the Sabbath. But I want to show you what the purpose of you understanding this is. You got a question? What's up? What's up? Where you got to put it down? You can put it down right next to our car. You'll be all right. It's right there? Okay, we're gonna read this while you're listening. All right, so now read what you got. Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4.
The book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So when people say that you cannot know who the 12 tribes of Israel are today, you can. And the reason that we have to know is because God said they have to keep the Sabbath. We're teaching the sister right now, who's about to come right back.
Right.
We're teaching her that you have to keep the Sabbath as a child of Israel. You have to know that you're that first. How are you going to find that out? You got to read in the Bible. That's why we're going through Deuteronomy. That's why we go through Exodus, so y'all can understand who you are according to the Bible. Because you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why we out here teaching. We wouldn't come out here and teach if that wasn't the case. We believe this thing. So it says, read it again. Let's read it again.
Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000
of what?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So there was sealed 144,000 all the tribes of the children of Israel. So sis, when I was saying before, because in church, they say we don't know who the children of Israel is. But you look right there, boom. Like I said, it tells you who they are. You got American blacks as Judah. You got West Indian blacks as Benjamin. You got Haitians as Levi. Why do we have that? Because guess what? Every single last one of them, if you go back into their cultures, you will find out that they link back to these men. That's the whole purpose of why we're out here, to teach our people who they are. Coming back to their fathers.
Right.
We have to make an account for who we were. Give me that in 1 Kings 8. I'm going to show you something. 1 Kings 8 verse 47. Because some people say, what's the purpose of what we do? I'm going to show you the purpose right now. And then we're going to get right back to showing you the Sabbath. But I want to show you this first. Read.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 8 and verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves.
I want that word right there. Sis, what does the word bethink mean? When you have to think about something, what is... No, you're fine. What does think... Simple question. What is think? Because be think is a harder, it's more old English. But like when you were in school, when they said you have to think about something, what did that mean? You just got to put it in your mind, right? Okay. Now, be think is an older word. It's where think comes from. But to be think means to remember. Remember. That's what be think means, to remember. Does it make sense? So now, if we have to remember ourselves, what do we have to remember about ourselves? Who we come from. Yes, sis, who we come from. So we come from the 12 tribes of children of Israel. Like I said, were your dad black? Okay, so the very top, you see that? See that word right there on the left? Okay, now on the left. That was on the right. What's on the left? Right there, you see the word on the left? Judah. That would be your father. His tribe would be Judah. That's what the Bible calls your father's tribe. That's where Christ comes from. He comes from the line of Judah. Remember they say Christ had woolly hair and dark skin? We always heard about that. Why wouldn't we think that we're from the same tribe? Well, not me, but I'm messing with you. But yeah, Judah. I'm actually Native American. I'm Reuben. But we had curly hair too. But we gotta think, we're attached to Christ. You know what I'm saying?
So it goes off of what your dad is?
Yes. I'm glad that you said that. Numbers. You should know this. I see the shirt. You should know this one. So watch this. I want to show you that it does go off of what your dad is. Read what you got.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees.
Another word for pedigree just means your generation or your race. That's all it means. Your race. Pedigree is race, genealogy, generation. That's all it means. Make sense? Before we move on. So pedigree means race. Read.
And they declared their pedigrees after their families.
So they declared their race after their families.
By the house of their father.
By the house of their fathers. So how you get your nationality is by your father. How you get your race is by your father. That's how you get your race. So now when you have, like for instance, your dad being Judah, you're Judah. But let's say you get married to a Hispanic man. The children that you guys will have will not be your tribe, but be his tribe. That's the way it works. That's the way it's always worked. Everybody understood that, and even science is leaning that way now because they understand the man does give a lot of that DNA, but we know from the Bible that God says you come from your father. That's the point. Does that make sense? So now let's get back to Exodus, because remember I said we're going to go back to Exodus. So we're talking about the Sabbath day. You now know that you're a child of Israel from the tribe of Judah. Now the Sabbath day has to mean something because Exodus 31:16 says the children of Israel, which is you, have to keep the Sabbath forever, right? Now let's go back to the Sabbath, 20 and 8, and then we're going to get to Nehemiah. You know exactly what I want in Nehemiah. Read what you got.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. One way was not to work. Remember that? We talked about Dollar Tree won't be open. People won't be out here doing extra stuff. You'll be doing most of your buying and selling from Sunday to Friday. Sisters with me, all praises. So now, give me Nehemiah, you know what I want, right? All praises.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10 and verse 31. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy days.
So now, if we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or the holy days. So now, if let's say, for instance, because this is talking about buying and selling on the Sabbath now, let's say the store decides to open up. No one is wrong. If people were to follow this law, how long would they stay open on the Sabbath? Think about that. They wouldn't stay open because you're going to keep the doors open, nobody's coming in? No, they have to have people coming into the store to keep the doors open. So they'd be like, hey, we got to close it down. We have to enforce, I'm going to use that term. We have to enforce God's laws. Our people have to follow God's laws. They don't understand because at the very end of time, we got to follow God's laws anyway. We should be following them today. Is that making sense, Yana? So now, now, you can't work on the Sabbath and you can't, what was this talking about? You can't what? You can't buy. Can't buy on the Sabbath, exactly. So you can't buy or sell on the Sabbath, you can't work on the Sabbath. Is there anything else you're supposed to do on the Sabbath? Keep it holy. I like that you said keep it holy. Listen, keeping it holy tells us that we have to do something different on the Sabbath than we were doing the other days, like I said. So that's a good thing that you're saying that. Let me show you Leviticus. Leviticus chapter 23, I believe it is, and verse 2. Watch this, I'm gonna show you something, because this is another way to keep it holy. Because some people say, how do I keep the Sabbath holy? Let's see. Read what you got.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse 2.
What's it say?
Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocation.
So now, the feast of the Lord are holy convocations. We're gonna get into one of those holy convocations in a second. If I was to tell you a convocation, what would you think that even meant? Because that, again, this is Old English. So what would convocation mean to you? Let's say a convention. Have you ever heard of a convention? Now, if you were to go to a convention, is there like only a couple people there? There's a lot. Convocation is literally convention. You got a lot of people got to be gathering. Now, a lot of people starting off, you might have 20, 30 people. As time goes on, there's more people that come, but you're supposed to be gathering as a whole on these specific days. Now, watch one of these days. Read.
Even these are my feasts. 6 days shall work be done, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of rest.
Interesting. So right after it says holy convocations, it brings up the Sabbath. You see that? Right after it says holy convocation, it says, hey, the Sabbath. Interesting. Watch what it says about the Sabbath. Read.
And holy convocation.
What?
And holy convocation.
So now, let's say you forget. What am I supposed to do on the Sabbath? You congregate with people, they be like, hey, you ain't supposed to be doing that, sis. You trying to buy it? You can't buy that, sis. You already know. You know what today is, right? They'll start talking to you like that. And you'll be like, oh, shoot, I forgot. That's why you're supposed to come together. Remember, he always says, gather together. God always said that, right? But he's talking about us. Me and you, the brothers and sisters of our nation. We got to gather together.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity.